Before I decide to continue my Trump derangement series and explaining what it really and truly is, I figured I would share this touching moment before we get to Mr. De Niro.
Do you think people with Trump derangement syndrome know they have it?
You're an idiot.
And second question, did you steal Trump's haircut or did he steal yours? Cultural appropriation haircut right there. She didn't like that too much. Joy Reid, everybody. Trump derangement syndrome.
That
full swing.
Right there, of course, was via Real America's Voice News. Joy Reid absolutely getting triggered. However, I think that one of my subscribers said it best when it comes to that little wig she's wearing. It doesn't really look like Donald Trump's hair. It actually looks a lot similar to Raiders owner Mark Davis. The more and more I look at it, that right there is actually the image that I get. But of course, we all know about Joy Reid, but yet we're talking about Robert De Niro. Now, if you guys did not see the video that I did on De Niro's little spiel outside the courthouse in the Southern District of Manhattan, and of course, at this moment in time, as I'm releasing this video, and of course, it's basically a video that I chose to make the day of the actual trial deliberation starting. That right there meaning that the jury is deliberating what's actually going on. Don't worry, there's probably not going to be an update video on that, meaning that I'm going to wait and see what happens after the deliberations before I decided to make an actual video, an analysis video, telling you guys what I think is probably going to happen as a result of Trump getting convicted, even though there's always the possibility of a hung jury. But given the judge's instructions, I think it gave more confusion than anything else. However, I want to make this video, of course, about Mr. De Niro instead of about the former president and explain what is actually going on in that man's brain. So let me go ahead and play a little bit of what happened yesterday. And when I mean yesterday, of course, I mean on Tuesday, because obviously I'm recording this video on Wednesday, and of course it will not be on Thursday. Some of the things that were said.
Is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life?
If you really and truly want to beat this type of lunacy and craziness, just laugh at these people, because at this point in time, it's almost like God is telling everybody to just laugh at people like Mr. De Niro. Still absolutely hilarious seeing somebody's car alarm going off while he was actually speaking. It's almost like somebody was trying to say something from above. Now, before I dive into this video, I want you guys to know really quick that Rob De Niro, of course, is going to be the bulk of this video, explaining his TDS. However, there are two more figures out there, actually three that we can talk about, that have extreme levels of Trump derangement syndrome. And I'm also going to be telling you how to actually handle people like this, because at some point in time, you just got to know that these people really and truly aren't serious, and these people are obviously suffering from some mental illness. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's get back to the video.
Lowlives for Trump. They lied under oath. They lied under oath. Who lied under oath? What are you telling me?
Those two traitors lied.
Excuse me?
Those two traitors lied.
They lied under oath?
That's right.
What are you saying?
The traitors.
They're traitors. I don't know, I don't even know how to deal with you, my friend. I don't even know how to deal with you.
I mean, it just makes you wonder about this kind of behavior, if it even has to really and truly do with Trump itself. But we'll get to that here momentarily.
This is really, even these people over here are kind of, it's kind of crazy. It's really crazy, and this thing, Donald Trump has created this. He should be telling them not to do this, but he's just, for these lowlives, for Trump.
They lied under oath.
They lied under oath. Right. Who lied under oath? What are you telling me?
Those two traitors lied.
Excuse me?
Those two traitors behind you.
They lied under oath?
That's right.
What are you saying?
They're traitors.
They're traitors. You gotta, I don't even know how to deal with you, my friend. I don't even know how to deal with you.
Mr. De Niro does have a history of making some extremely strange Trump deranged remarks. And of course, you guys are obviously seeing some things I'm playing for you guys in the B-roll footage. The fact that he was being heckled, the fact that he was wearing a mask at one point in time while outside. I mean, he is 80 years old, but still at the same time, though, we are over the whole C9-1 thing, we're kind of over that. But of course, there's always the possibility of something else coming out. But the thing that I want to talk about is why it is that he has such deranged takes that you guys are about to see now.
Handcuff him and take him away in an orange jumpsuit. In Nazi Germany, they had it with Hitler. They don't take him serious. He looks like a clown, acts like a clown. And this guy just keeps going on and on and on without being stopped. Stupid bully. Stupid. He's a lowlife. That scumbag. He's sick. Total loser. Fake president is like a gangster. Gangster first family, if you will. Thinks he's a gangster. He's just obtuse. He's dumb. So he's just stupid, obtuse. He's a sociopathic, psychopathic, malignant narcissist. I know what's right. And I think there are a lot of people who think they know what's right. I know what's right. Narcissistic and self-centered. I just don't want to feel the way I did, and many of us don't, after the election in 2016. I should not be president, period. Idiot is taking our country into the dump. A national disgrace. And I apologize to Justin Trudeau. Such a mean, nasty, hateful person.
And of course, this right here also does not include what was actually said, of course, outside the courtroom. But even at one point in time, he even said that the man would destroy the world. He would never leave the White House, even though he can only serve one term. Of course, that would there being the term that, of course, he would get if he was to actually win, which I personally think he will. But I'll talk about that a little bit more in a later video. I think that Mr. De Niro's issues are something that is not even really and truly Trump related. Now, guys, I did do a video a while back. And of course, the video that I did a while back was on Trump derangement syndrome. And I talked about other actors who had it at some point in time. And Mr. De Niro was briefly mentioned towards the end of the video. The video will be in the description box to go along with the video that was released on Tuesday. But the thing is this right here. Excuse me, the video was released on Wednesday, my bad. The thing is this right here. When you actually boil this down, when you actually look into it, you find out that it's not the orange guy that's really and truly triggering him. It's in reality something else. It's something that I think the critical drinker mentioned in a video that he did about the online world and actors as a whole. Hollywood, you guys can call it whatever you want. It's obviously a very, very strange town. And of course, this summer, I'm probably going to be doing a lot more pop culture takes, especially seeing how it is that they actually do very, very good on the channel. It's something that I do know something about, but there's also a lot of media criticism and a lot of media manipulation there to actually have a conversation about, especially given the fact that we're going back to the one video a day thing. I released multiple videos this week, mostly for algorithmic purposes, but of course we had multiple stories going on. Friday, for example, we're going to be talking about the fast food industry, and of course on Saturday, we're going to be getting back to my project on the rights issue with Israel. But that's just an example of things to come. The thing about this particular case of Trump derangement syndrome is that if you look at it more and more, like I said, if you actually boil it down, you find out there's actually something else going on. Now, I referenced the Critical Drinkers video on the internet and actors, and of course, I'll try to link that video as well. The point is this right here. When you go online, when you have social media, you put all your opinions out there, regardless of what the opinions are. And De Niro has never even been known to be a political guy, not into politics at all. Unlike, say, someone like, say, Martin Sheen, who very, very oddly, as liberal as he is, Martin Sheen actually has a pretty conservative position on the topic of abortion. He has a reason for that. Jack Nicholson, for example, is extremely liberal, but he's actually got a pretty conservative position on the topic of abortion. Basically, what I'm saying is that De Niro is one of those guys who really and truly was not that political until Trump came around. And not only is it the fact that he's not been political or never was until Trump came around, it's the fact that it's very easy as somebody who likes De Niro's movies or did like De Niro's movies at one point in time, if you suddenly do not like him, it's very, very easy to get made fun of over it. I'll briefly explain what I mean. Back in 2018, I was at a family member's house, and of course, they were going on about Robert De Niro and Donald Trump. The family member, by the way, was a rabid Never Trumper, still very, very much is. I don't really reference any names or anything, but of course, one of the things that he said to me was, at one point in time, you used to love Robert De Niro movies. Did you turn on Robert De Niro because of his views on Trump? I actually stopped watching anything De Niro related or anything new right around the time of 2010. I want to say that the movie that did it for me was the film Righteous Kill with the star with Al Pacino. And of course, they even did this other movie where it was him and Alan Arkin, somebody who wasn't even a big actor until that film. I think that what happened in the case of Robert De Niro, especially for me, is that they kept trying to put him in our face, and yet he was not the same guy. This is not the same guy who played Ace Rothstein in Casino. This is not the same guy who played Jimmy Conway, which is really James Burke was the actual person he was portraying in Goodfellas, whom, by the way, De Niro played to a T. De Niro is a phenomenal actor, I'm not going to lie to you. But, of course, it's not the same guy, and after a while, you just get tired of these people. I mean, I think the Meet the Parents franchise was the last thing that he did was actually worth a damn. And the last film that came out, Little Fockers, just wasn't that great. Anything Trump-related was just like, oh, God, here we go again. Now, real quick, I didn't say this earlier, but I'm saying it now. And I hinted at this at the very beginning of the video. We're not just going to be talking about De Niro. De Niro is just going to be the bulk of it. Also, something else, too, I'm also going to explain to you guys how in the world to treat these people when you actually run into them in real life. So, like I said, it's going to be a deep video, but hopefully I can get it all done in less than 20 minutes. There is a desire of people, and this is also common with people here on this platform here. Now, me, if you look at my channel, 1,676 subscribers, I love every single one of you. I do my videos in front of a phone, okay, with a Rode microphone that's attached to you. Every now and again, you guys will see me put my thumb up, and like you can actually tell when I click off the phone. I'm not the best in the world when it comes to editing, but of course, I'm also trying to, when I get my time to actually be able to do these video essays, I'm trying to learn how to use other editing apps and actually use the computers around me, which of course I've tested with a lot of times, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't have the best voice in the world when it comes to actual voiceover content, but that's another conversation another day. We'll fix it. We don't worry, we'll actually fix it. I may have to actually use my alternate voice because I can do other voices, but still the point is this right here. This platform here, just like Hollywood or anything else, is about attention, okay? De Niro, obviously Hollywood actor, he's been in several films, several great films. He's still starring in films. I mean, hell, the guy has even got a child at 80 years old. He just had a baby. So what exactly is this guy's deal? Why in the world does he choose to say such things like, when Trump is not around, nobody's going to be here to protect you people? Why is Trump getting into it with people outside of a courtroom? Why is he getting into arguments with people? Why is he doing this? Well, I think a lot of it's got to do with the fact that he is a guy who, quite frankly, has not received the right kind of attention over the previous few years. I know that there sounds a little bit odd, but let me kind of explain, all right? As I said before, when you go to Hollywood, you crave attention. You obviously need acting roles. And of course, over time, you star in some films, you develop a career, you develop a filmography, and of course, you get praised. Well, imagine one day you get online, you open up an app called Twitter, or you open up your social media, or you start a social media, and then you start saying some things that, quite frankly, people don't agree with you about their lives, or, of course, what's going on, or how out of touch was that statement. Bear in mind, Robert De Niro has a home in New York, and he's from New York, but he also has a home in L.A., where he spends most of his time at. So him coming back to New York really kind of baffled me, but then again, though, given the political nature and how it is they're trying to pump him up as this little man fighting against the great big giant orange Hitler, it doesn't really surprise me, even though it did look cringe as hell and most people made fun of it. There's even people out there saying we're never buying one of his products again or renting his films. I'm not the type of guy that actually do that, but of course, if you guys want to boycott, go right ahead and do so. I'm not going to make fun of you. In some cases, I'll even encourage it, like in the case of the Bud Light situation. The point is this right here. De Niro is a guy who's never really and truly faced actual criticism. Now, he hasn't been criticized by the media recently or even by Trump that much outside the comment or quit back. He's been criticized a lot more by the people who follow him, the people who watch his films, the people who've admired his career. When he notices that these people disagree with him, then therefore he's obviously going to feel like, I don't know, maybe he might be replaced. You see, these actors, of course, crave attention. It's almost like a child that has to have attention. That right is what the hell these actors actually crave. And given the fact that the internet is pretty much golden right now, given the fact that everybody out there is on the internet, given the fact that everybody out there has got an X account, given the fact that people have got actual followings, it seems to me like old boomer types like, say, De Niro, who are probably a little bit ignorant of technology itself, they got to find new ways to generate some form of attention. Obviously, they got to stroke their ego a little bit, but obviously, what do? You get on networks that are trying to push an agenda. The more you try to push that agenda, the more opportunities you're going to get to try to beat social media. Even though social media and the internet is beating basic cable television at this moment in time. It's just the way that it is. They're trying to find a way to adjust the time to get their voice out there, to get their message heard, to try to get their little attention fix. That right there is the real truth of it. But at the end of the day, the only thing it does is end up destroying their legacy. I mean, it's really one hell of a sight to see. It's actually absolutely 100% hilarious. And if you really and truly want to get down to the nitty and gritty of it, or if you really want to see the real proof that's out there, all you got to do is look at the dwindling viewership every year at the Academy Awards. There's a reason why it was that Ricky Gervais at the 2020 Academy Award, his little spiel, which I can't play for you guys without getting a copyright claim, there's a reason why it was that it went absolutely viral, especially with working class folk like myself. We wanted to see somebody go in there and absolutely trash Hollywood actors. Fact of the matter is, nobody's watching anymore. And to go on top of that, their opportunities to get out there to be heard due to social media are going down. So what do? You say some extremely negative anti-Trump stuff to obviously get your attention fixed, which, by the way, these actors need, because these actors can't live without attention. We saw that in 2020. We saw how these people deteriorated. That right there's the truth about Hollywood actors, especially somebody like, say, Robert De Niro. Don't worry, you can apply the exact same rule to Stephen King, David Justice, and of course Eric Braeden, who will all come up a little bit later on this video, because I've mentioned them I haven't really mentioned them at all in this video. But the point is this right here. Everything they're doing now is just good old-fashioned attention seeking. It goes with their actual MO. They're actors. This is who the hell these people are. And their opportunities, because of social media, are in fact dwindling. So, of course, every chance they get in front of a camera, whether it's Fox News, whether it's MSNBC or CNN, they're going to come out there and say some extremely anti-Trump stuff and even attack Trump's voters, because these people believe that they're absolutely untouchable. I talked about this a little bit in my previous video, the second video that came out about the Democrats' accountability problem. At the end of the day, that right there is what the hell this boils down to. And unlike in films, unlike in movies, these people get booed in real time, or what they believe to be real time, on their social media. De Niro and a lot of Hollywood actors don't seem to realize that X, Twitter, is not exactly what we call real life, but these people actually believe that it is. Now, I did say that I was going to be giving you guys a few more cases, but bear with me because I got one more thing to say before we move on to this. Consider the technological revolution itself, okay? Over time, obviously, the television, now you can watch television, you can watch it on your phone, all that type of stuff there. Technology is pretty much anywhere and everywhere. So you have access to everything. Kind of like what I was saying about social media before. In a lot of ways, that right there really and truly ruined Hollywood. I think I touched on that already. And I said before, and I'm going to go ahead and say it one more time if I didn't make it abundantly clear, I don't even think that this really and truly has to do with Trump or even politics itself. I think it has to do more with the fact that he's losing something as he gets older. He's actually losing control over his own audience, which kind of suggests to you that he's really a selfish person in real life. And of course, as I said before, after all those years of getting thumbs up, praise from the Academy and all that other good stuff and all those other places, he starts to become less and less and less relevant. And you would probably think that maybe attacking Trump might make him relevant again, giving him some acting roles. But at the same time, though, Robert De Niro is what? Hollywood gold, Hollywood royalty, so he shouldn't have a problem there. I think this right here is really psychological, and I think that Trump is just a symptom of whatever the hell is really and truly going on with Mr. De Niro. I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of goes back to what I said in a previous video. It's really kind of a loss of control. You want everybody in the whole world in the room to kind of praise you, but the minute you disagree with something they have in their life, because let's go ahead and be honest, it's not just liberals who watch these movies. It's not just people who live in very, very big blue cities who watch this movie. It's also people who live in rural America, small town America. A lot of those people happen to have values that don't exactly, mesh with Mr. De Niro's. But still at the same time, though, it kind of goes back to what Michael Jordan said a long time ago. Republicans wear sneakers too. Or it could just be the fact that something could be, hidden. I really and truly don't know. It makes me think about that night that Dave Chappelle did that Saturday Night Live special, which, of course, I can't really find the actual clip itself because, for whatever reason, YouTube has kind of buried that to the algorithm. But when Dave Chappelle came out and basically said that Donald Trump was the one billionaire in the room that came outside and basically said, yes, everything you think we're doing in this house, we're doing. It makes you wonder exactly how well Mr. De Niro and Trump actually know one another. Maybe Trump's got something on him. I mean, I really don't know. Look, the thing is this right here. Mass media has given people the ability to, for the most part, especially social media, to basically put their face anywhere and everywhere, stroke their ego. Yes, I'm looking at myself right now. But still, at the same time, though, the point is this right here. Someone like De Niro obviously does have an ego, so this is an opportunity for him to get on the mic. But some people have also argued that maybe it's also gatekeeping to a certain degree. That right there will be a topic explored at a later date. It seems to me like this is, for the most part, a very, very strange set of attention-seeking behavior, and also at the exact same time, it seems to me like a loss in people who actually follow him. He views himself to be a very, very important voice, even though he really and truly was never really that political in the earlier days. But yet at the same time, though, here we go. Trump comes around. Something triggers him about that. And, of course, a lot of De Niro's people and fans, people who follow him, there's probably a lot of overlap when it comes to Donald Trump itself. And it probably did test Mr. De Niro that these people would choose Trump over him. The fact of the matter is this right here. When you are president of the United States, you actually have the responsibility of people's lives in your hands. You have their paychecks to a certain degree a lot in their hands as well, because you set the environment of how these people are actually going to be able to live, the amount of money that they make. Whereas if you are an actor, therefore you are taking money from said individual because you make movies that obviously become successful based upon how many people buy the ticket to go see the movie. It's an extremely irrational thing to do. Maybe Mr. De Niro thinks that all of his fans live in one city and maybe he'll be okay. But that right there then brings me to one last point. Here it is. I mentioned Stephen King earlier. Now, I don't have time to show you every single tweet that Stephen King has thrown out there, every Never Trump tweet. I ain't got time for that. Stephen King, for the most part, his audience, the people who read his book, is kind of a niche audience. I'm not bashing King's books. Obviously, King has written some good stories. But it's really just attention-seeking behavior when you actually get to it. Or the athlete that I did not say by name, but I'm showing you guys his Twitter, his actual Twitter handle now, David Justice. David Justice is a legend amongst Braves fans because of that home run he hit in Game 6 of the 1995 series. Every tweet that this guy throws out there is this hardcore, never Trump, anti-Trump, very, very pro-Obama speech. You almost think he was working for the Obama campaign. Even though Obama's not president or running for president, I can't say anything else, but still, after at some point in time, it gets comical. Oh, I forgot about the soap opera actor. I almost called him actress. Eric Braeden, the guy who plays Victor Newman. If you know who this guy is, chances are your grandma helped raise you. Chances are your grandma helped bring you up. Everything this guy tweets is about Donald Trump. Everything. And the thing about Eric Braeden, and this also kind of goes with De Niro, is that Braeden will also post charity events. If it isn't a charity event that he's a part of or he's sanctioning or pushing, it's something never Trump. It's amazing, these people's egos. Same thing with, look, David Justice. He posts very, very pro-God tweets, but then he posts extremely negative Trump tweets and attacks Trump supporters. It's an amazing phenomenon to see the mental illness on display. So here's my suggestion to end the video. Once these people start hurling insults at you, once they try to start stigmatizing you, which, by the way, will be a video in the future talking about stigmatization and how to handle it. It'll, of course, be kind of an extension of this video here because Trump derangement syndrome is going to be a series over the course of the year because of the election. But the thing is this here. At some point in time, you need not care anymore what these people call you, because once they start hurling names at you, they've lost the argument. They've lost the plot. Once they see you walk away, they don't want to accept it because their egos are overinflated. But they've lost you as a customer. They've lost your money. After a while, it becomes contagious. They lose their money. Here's what I suggest you do. Unless somebody is right in front of your face and about to attack you, and of course, I don't endorse violence on this channel, but of course, if you need to defend yourself, obviously defend yourself. It's self-defense. I mean, it's going to happen. I don't think you do something about that. But the thing is, this right here. When you get to a discussion with people like this, and they begin to melt down and go crazy, just laugh at them. Just laugh at these people. Trust me. Just laugh at them. Just laugh at these loons. Look. If you really and truly want to get these people to someday stop, make fun of them. They'll do something stupid. They'll get caught doing something stupid. They'll be forced to go get Jesus or whatnot. Eventually, there'll be some form of a behavioral correction. But to the ones who are the most extreme, well, still laugh at them anyways. Because guess what? At the end of the day, they are kind of funny. They say such crazy stuff. They do such incompetent crap. There's no way in hell you can be blackmailed by these people. That also includes the current administration. But still, at the same time, though, we got to get through it, and hopefully we'll be able to defeat this crap. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section. I would love to hear what you guys have got to say. I do want to say this right here before I end the video. I'm going to try to release these videos a little bit later in the evening. It was something that I wanted to do back in the spring, but I'm going to go ahead and go through with it now because I've noticed that most of you guys who do watch the content, a lot of you guys don't even really click or log on until about 3 or 4 o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead and start releasing these videos beyond 4 p.m. You might still get a video occasionally every now and again if it's breaking, like before then, maybe at lunch. But I want to go ahead and just kind of give you guys a better opportunity at trying to catch these videos. And I know it can be kind of a pain to try to get to. And of course, I want to make these videos better edited. So just give you guys a bit of a heads up. Still, please comment. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sign off in the comment section. I'll see you guys later.